Great to see you, Lando, in the sun here at McLaren. A contract extension is always a big decision. Was it an easy or hard decision, this one?
It was an easy one. I mean, there's discussions been going on for a little bit, but yeah, in terms of options and looking elsewhere, I didn't really need to do that, and I'm very happy here, so it was an easy one for me.
How much of making it easy was the current trajectory that McLaren are on?
A big part. I mean, there's two things which really influence my decisions. Is one, do I enjoy where I'm at, or will I enjoy where I go to? And is two, will this team help me achieve my goal, which is to become Formula One world champion? And both are now a yes, really, and more convinced than ever that that second one is especially a yes. I love it here. I've loved it here since day one. I'm very much part of the Papaya family. And I want to continue that story, that chapter of trying to achieve that goal, and that trajectory that we've been on last year hopefully continues, and that's going to help us achieve that goal of a world championship.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk a bit more about the trajectory and the augmentation of the facilities and the new people at McLaren in a sec, but I do want to ask, did you look around, you or your people? Did you weigh up other options? Were there talks elsewhere?
I mean, there's always discussions every now and then. I don't think any, I'm not going to lie and say no. There's always little discussions, and you talk to people and see, what could you offer kind of thing, but it never went further than that. And there's always been things, in the media and stories being written, and that's never the best thing for everyone here back in the factory. If you're working away, making a part that's going to be on my car, if you see Norris has links to here or there, it's never probably the best thing to see. So for the team's sake, I think it's why we also wanted to get it done now, just to put those rumours to rest. And that was it. I was convinced this is where I want to stay. So as much as there were, hey, how are you kind of things at other places, it never went further than that. And as soon as it came back here, it was a done deal.
Yes, you've answered that question, because you could have waited longer. You had another year in the contract, but to shut down all of the chatter around yourself, you've done it now. Listen, people, the media, people like me, were linking you with Red Bull. Even Red Bull were linking you with Red Bull a little bit. Your mate Alex Albon said, there's a place for Lando Norris there. I mean, that is a car that won all but one of the races last year. So why not Red Bull, Lando? Or even pursuing a pathway to take yourself there?
Because I think when you look at where we ended up last year, there was enough races where, considering we're talking about the most competitive and successful car in history of Formula One over a season, and I think you have to include the driver in that too, but how close we got at certain places with where we started the season, I think was pretty impressive. To go from out of the points pretty much every single race, to being probably the closest team on average to the most successful car that's ever been in Formula One, I think showed me enough, and showed everyone here at McLaren enough that we have what it takes to challenge them. And therefore, then I want to create my own chapter, my own story of being with McLaren and turning the team around and being part of that journey. So. Of course, there's always interest in the back of my mind. There's always what would happen if I went here, and what could I achieve, and so forth. But I'm happy with where I am. I'm comfortable, and I think in order to achieve a world championship, you need to be happy and comfortable with where you're at. And I don't think you're able to achieve that by suddenly switching to another team and finding that within a year. So that's why I think he's best. Yeah,
it's interesting that both you and Charles Leclerc are staying and kind of building at your respective teams. And maybe you can do here at McLaren what Max has done at Red Bull, be for the journey and the success at the end of it. I mean, I can imagine Christian Horner, when we speak to him in a few weeks' time, saying, oh, well, Charles and Lando didn't fancy racing directly opposite Max.
Yeah.
Any fear on your part of doing that if you had exactly the same kit?
I think it's a longer discussion than just saying that. Is Max one of the best drivers ever in Formula One? Absolutely. I think he's proved that enough. He's in a team which he's very comfortable in. A lot of things are, built up around him. So for anyone, even a Max of a few years ago, to go in against the Max of now is extremely difficult. So I don't think it's a question of, are you scared or not scared? I don't think I'd ever be scared of going against anyone. But even if you enter a team, are you in a position to challenge someone straight away and comfortable to do that? And I think it's a no for any driver. It takes time to adapt and it takes time to get into place. And if you want to go against the best driver in the world, it's not the best thing to do. It's not a smart move to do. But I would love to race against Max. I've enjoyed some of our battles that we've had, and I'm looking even more forward to the battles that we're going to have this year.
Yeah, let's see if he winds up here in a few years' time. If you have the best car, this new contract takes you into the new rules, and you will have Mercedes power in that epoch. And it's maybe one thing that people are looking at Red Bull's dominance now and thinking, well, they won't. I mean, they could maybe be damaged a bit by the engine power change. So you've got to think logically too, and that is a big part of the story, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's always in Formula One. The regulation change is now going to its third year and then fourth year, so we're going to be seeing closer racing than ever over the next few years. But every regulation change, things spread out, things change. But it's an opportunity for everyone, as much as an opportunity for McLaren, for Mercedes, for the power unit manufacturers. It's an opportunity for everyone on the grid. So a lot of it is guesswork. No one knows what's going to happen and where people are at. But I'm confident in the team and the people that I have around me, and working with Mercedes is a big part of that confidence. So I'm happy with what we got.
Well, let's talk again about that, because we talked about the trajectory the team has been on. Did you also box tick when the wind tunnels come online, when the new simulators come on, and the likes of David Sanchez and Rob Marshall started work? What sort of impression has that all made on you?
I mean, everything plays a part, 100%. So the wind tunnel, the simulator, bringing in personnel who have been part of other very successful teams, Red Bull being one of them, but also Ferrari. Ferrari have always been there. They've never been a bad team. They've always been a team which have been competitive. So we're just adding minds, adding creativity, adding input, and that's what you want in a team. You want people to challenge one another, and I think we have an extremely good lineup, and good team. It's not just one person. It takes hundreds of people to work together to create ideas. So knowing what we had already, especially with the new kind of revamp of structure and people that we've had for a very long time, but are now a bit more free and open to creative ideas. Now you add these extra guys in, you add this new infrastructure in, then you gain confidence from that 100%. So it's a good thing, but what we achieved already last year was without the help of some of these guys. Now we know we're going to have the help of some of these guys, and that only gives us a bigger boost of motivation.
Yeah, I mean, if you could make a relative step this year the same as you made last year, you would be maybe up there with Red Bull. Or do you know the gap really still coming away from 2023, the advantage that Red Bull had or not?
The thing is, a lot of it is just consistency. We're some races we were extremely close. Brazil we finished 9 seconds behind. Qatar I think we finished like 6 seconds behind. Japan was 16, 17 seconds. And when you're saying that over like a 60, 70 lap race, 50 lap race, it's not a lot. It's a couple tenths, or it's even a tenth a lap or something. So at times we're not looking for a lot to say we can challenge them. Where they're extremely strong is their consistency. Day in, day out, no matter the weather, no matter the temperature, no matter when they got issues or not, they're always there, and that's something that's been a bit more of a weakness from ourselves. So we want to aim at just making us quicker, but also being consistent at every single racetrack that we go to, and that's what Red Bull is showing the level that it needs to be, and our target is to get to that.
Okay. Just finally then, it means you'll continue alongside Oscar Piastri here, because he's signed up too. You've had Daniel Ricciardo, you've had Carlos Sainz here. Given how he performed in his rookie season, could he prove to be possibly even a tougher teammate than those two?
Already is. So yes, already is. Already gave me a good challenge last year, and I think we worked together very well. I think he's an extremely talented driver. He's a very hard worker, so I enjoyed it. It was nice to have that bit more of like a push. You as much as you hate it, you also like it and you welcome it, because I want to make sure I'm in the best position for when I am fighting for a championship, that I'm ready on all accounts. And when you have a driver and a teammate who can push you that little bit more, it's only going to make you even more ready. So that's what I had last year. He helped the team massively, and I think we worked together very well because we have the same target. We want to be champions and we want to win races, and we're not going to do that by hating on one another and not getting along. And times always change when you start fighting for race wins and things, but he gave the team a good help, and that's what we needed. And I look forward to more of our battles and working together for longer too.
Yeah, listen, I'm glad the future's orange. I hope it's a bright one. Good luck this year.
Thank you very much.